Well guys, I think the time has finally come to start painting the Ecto-1's front end. Let's get into it. Now guys, I was waiting on some parts to arrive before I began doing the painting because you can see there's kind of a mismatch of wrong parts sent in from the junkyard that provided these parts. This is a 1960 Cadillac fender and a 1960 Cadillac hood. So I'm waiting on this fender and for this lower lip to be replaced before I can, really make it look perfect. And I'm also waiting on this trim over here on this side. But you guys comment weekly to have this front end painted, so I had some free time and I'm like, fine, I'll paint it and then just do some extra painting later. So this video is going to be getting the whole front end just white, and then I'd really like to get this red stripe continued down to the front, because if any of you guys have seen any updates from the new Ghostbusters movie they're filming, the new Ecto-1 has the red stripe all the way to here, right behind the trim. And that's another piece I don't have. But you guys are commenting so much to get it done, I might as well just go ahead and paint it. So let's get into it. So it looks like the 1960 is held together a lot differently than the 59, and this doesn't come off as easily, and I know if it doesn't come off easily, it's not going to go back on easy. So I'm going to do the right thing and paint this one as is. All I'm going to do is tape off the headlights, so everything else is going to be sprayed. I mean, it's not like this fender is going to get used anyways, so I don't really care. And the junkyard's taking too long to respond to me on when I'm getting my 59 fender. I was going to try to leave it unpainted for them, but I'm just going to paint it. I can't wait too much longer. So guys, I decided to take the Cadillac emblem off but leave the V on because the bolts on this were fighting me and I didn't want to break any more than I already did. I broke one. But while I took this off, I cleaned it up, and take a look at this beautiful paint. This is most likely the original paint from the 1960 Cadillac hood, and man, it is just so pretty. I tell you, Cadillac really knew how to do it back then. That is just stunning. I'd love to have one of these, be it a coupe, a sedan, a Fleetwood, another hearse that was just bone stock, because I love the original colors, and it's only original once, and I would love to have a car that's this color, but I guess shitty white will do good enough for me. Alright, so I haven't tried it before, but there's this Ace Hardware brand rest reformer that I'm going to try to use. I don't know how it works, but we're going to find out. Alright, so there is that drying, and over here is the rest of it drying. Seems like it's really zoomed in. I guess my phone is just really close to it. I wish I would have had an extra can, as always. God, this Rust-Oleum turbo stuff is just, it comes out way too fast. And it laid down a lot better than it has in the past. It's still not great, but I think it's pretty good. We'll let it sit and dry. See, the problem is now you can see a lot more clearly those problem areas that need to be addressed in probably lowering the motor. I think that's going to be the only thing we can do to fix it. But I think it's drying. Unfortunate. I really hope no bugs and critters come hang out on it. So there's still a lot left to do, but for the end of day, this is day 2 for the weekend, but day 1 for this job specifically, looking pretty good. I'll go ahead and put that piece back on, remove the tape. In the morning, we're going to paint a chrome strip up here. We might paint the V, or like the little winglets on, just for the hell of it. I don't know, I think it'll look like crap, but it'll look worse without it. And then we'll go ahead and lay that red stripe down all the way down, and then we'll be done. Alright, so we've still got a lot left to do. I went and bought some chrome paint from O'Reilly's, and it looks pretty good. I painted the receipt just to try it out. It looks like it's going to work pretty well. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to run up here, and the body line is still visible. You can kind of see it. So that's where I'm going to tape, and I'm going to paint that to look like that trim just because I don't have it right now, and it'll just kind of be a placeholder for now. And then I'm also going to be painting the little winglets on the hood on both sides. And then once that's done, we're going to spray the red, and then that will be the end of the project. So this side's done, so you can see what I was saying. It kind of just gives off the impression from 20 feet away of metal trim. So I'm going to have the winglets, and I'm going to have that piece. And then when I get that piece of trim, obviously there's going to be trim there at some point. But right now, since I don't have it, and I want to take pictures at the end of this, that'll make it look a little better. Alright, so now all the winglets are on and the trim is painted over there. So we're done with the chrome. At some point, once I'm done with the stripe, maybe one of these next weekends where I've got nothing to do, I'm going to do flight fin trim. So I'm going to have a little piece of chrome going all the way along the red. I think that'll look pretty nice. It's just going to be a lot of taping, and I don't want to do it right now because I'm already low on time. We have officially painted the first Firehouse style Ecto-1 paint job. I am very proud. And now, that being said, it is not good by any means. And the second person to do this will for sure do it better than me. But damn it, I am the first. Take that. So the cool thing is, I basically just followed the images from the filming, and I'm not going to show you guys that stuff, but you can look it up yourself. I'm just not going to show you that stuff because I kind of don't want to spoil it for you guys. But you can look it up if you want. Cool thing is, I faded it into the existing stripe, and I think I did it the way they did. I could tell that it got a little thick in this area, so I tried to thin it out as much as possible. And I got it real thin here, and then it thickens out. I kind of just followed where it gets thin. It's kind of following the angle of the window. So we'll see if it looks okay when we take it off. If not, I mean, I still do need to do the flight fin trim, so I can just kind of, you know, fudge where the flight fin trim is to make up for whatever's too thin or too thick. Wow, okay. It's actually come out a lot better than I ever thought it would. I think I'm getting better at working with the Rust-Oleum because it came out a lot better than it really should have. But, I mean, you know, under shady tree, little paint job with spray paint, can't really complain, considering it's going to come off at some point anyways. You can see the approach I made, because I'm not exactly sure how this goes, but since the car bulges out, I kind of followed that bulge here. And the thing is, there's not a whole lot of photographs of it, of the new paint job, so I was only going off of a little bit of spy shots on Instagram. But when you're down at this angle, you can't tell. And granted, I know I probably did the fins a little bit wrong. Granted, I was just going off of eyesight for those two. So they're a little bastardized from the front view, but I think it'll blend in pretty well, because look over here, it kind of goes away when you're at this level. And I think that's the way they actually did it. At least I'm pretty sure. Obviously, there still needs to be a piece of trim going along the outside, and since I don't have that, it's not going to be perfect. But, I mean, come on. These cars curve out so much right there. I kind of just followed it. I think it works. So the big question is, will she reward me for making her front end look so nice by actually starting up on the first try? Wait, where'd I put my keys? Found them. All right, let's see. Hey, good girl, running like a brand new car. Well guys, we made some tremendous progress today. We got the Ecto-1's front end completely repainted. Got some fresh Rust-Oleum turbo white that turned out really nice. We also replicated the Firehouse style stripe going all the way up to the front. I'm not going to show you what that is for reference, you're going to have to look it up yourself, but the new Firehouse movie has this exact paint job and we are the first to replicate it. I'm extremely excited. We also took a little bit of chrome paint and replicated some of the trim we don't have, just so it looks good from a distance. In the next couple weeks, you're going to see a video where I take some windows out of the parts car, because we got a couple big things to do soon. We're going to have to replace the entire floor, and we're going to be able to start making windows for the back. A lot of big stuff, so make sure you stay tuned. Well guys.